Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome back to Jack and Jill. This is episode number 11. Yes, the 11th number of the episode Jack and Jill. Now, in a previous episode, the previous episode was pretty much kind of like an overview of everything we've done so far on this channel. This episode, I mean, we could go into more detail on what constitutes a killer and a murderer. We could. Yes, that's what we'll do. Now, can anybody tell me what is the difference between a murderer and a killer? And no, I'm not speaking in a kind of Gangster X slang. No, I'm talking about somebody who kills and somebody who murders. Yes, divided opinions. Alright. Well then, the difference between a killer and murderer is this: motivation. Think of it like this: everybody is a murderer, but not everyone is a killer. Do you know why that is? Here is why. In the eyes of God, everybody is a murderer because of this one thing. The thing that constitutes murder is that it begins in the heart. If you have ever had hatred for anyone or anything, you have murdered it. Or that you have murdered them in your heart. Now, this is a topic that, for some reason, God brings me back to through the movement of the Holy Spirit, kind of like a bird, kind of going up with the updraft, and it kind of goes in a circle for a while. Because this is a topic that's been an issue with humanity since the dawn of humanity. Before sexual sin, there was murder. Before murder, there was disobedience. Before disobedience, there was a rebellion. But we'll get onto that part in a different video, should God allow it. Now, here's why I have just said everyone is a murderer, but not everybody is a killer. Because you could be a killer because of the simple fact of this: you could be the cause for somebody's death but not mean it, meaning that your actions have caused that person to die. Take, for example, this: a child is playing with their ball, and their ball goes out into the street. So what is a child going to do? the child is going to run into the street after their ball because it is their ball and they want it. One of two things, actually one of 47 things, but for the simplicity's sake, we're going to leave it at two, are going to happen. That child is going to go onto the road, and somebody is going to hit that child by accident, killing said child. That person just killed a child. But did they murder the child? No, because they did not intend to end that child's life for their own gain. Scenario number 2 is this. The child goes off into the road and catches a ball. They grab the ball. The driver sees them and swerves out of the way into another oncoming car, crashing the car, killing that driver and the driver of the additional car. Did that child just murder the driver? No, because in a child's eyes, all the child wanted to do was grab its ball. It did not want to kill the driver so he can have its ball. It just wanted its ball. And I know I'm referring to the child as an it, and that's going to offend some people, but here's the thing. This is a nondescript child of a nondescript gender that has caused a pretty stereotypical accident that, you know, at this day and age, most of you should be pretty aware of. Nothing more, nothing less. So, in neither situation was anybody murdered, but because of the actions of another human had died. Now here's a scenario that is given in the Bible. Two men are working alongside each other. They don't like each other very much. And they're chopping down wood. Like trees, you know? So, the head of one axe handle flies off the hand of one man, striking the other man in the head. Did the man murder the other man? No, he killed the other man because of his actions. His actions of him swinging the axe caused the axe head to fly off. That struck the other man in the head, killing him. But he did not murder the other man, I should say. Yes, he did kill the other man, but it was an accidental kill, so therefore it was not murder. He did not intend to kill him for his own selfish gain. When you hate another human being, you've already murdered them in your heart. For you feel like the lack of their existence would bring a benefit to your own. So therefore, you have already murdered them in your heart, killing them off. To make your life simpler, because you quite simply don't like them. Everybody in this planet has hated someone at some point in their life. Even I am guilty of this. But to understand is to know. You can know something and yet not understand. Like, for example, knowing that your dog loves you does not make it so that way that you understand why your dog loves you. Knowing why your child loves you, that your child loves you does not make you understand why your child loves you. And so on and so forth. Knowing that you're going to die does not mean you understand why you're going to die. which leads some people to ask on multiple occasions, when they know that their death is imminent, why? They feel like their whole life has been a joke, when in reality, they may have already served their purpose in their life, or they missed their chance and had proven to God that they would not serve Him. So therefore, instead of wasting any more of their time or His, He removes them and allows them to die, instead of keeping them alive for a little longer. Unless God sends someone like me to come along, because in reality, God wants to give you as much time as possible. To live. Just like how God makes decisions, you make decisions as well. But not every decision is a good one. Take, for example, this. You're sitting down and you want a glass of milk. You can take the glass of milk that's been sitting out there for a good couple of hours. Or you can go to the fridge, pour yourself another glass, and drink that instead. One choice leaves a cool, refreshing, oh wait, some people are lactose intolerant. Oh gosh, Okay, candy. Wait. Okay, Well, I believe the point's been made so far. So, when a human causes another human to die, they have killed another human being through their actions. But that human has also made choices that have led them up to that point as well. It's never any one side that is guilty, but both. There's never any such thing as an innocent human being, except maybe for a child. Any sin a child has committed before they understand their choices and what they lead up to. Or if an adult makes that child sin, the sin will be on the adult and not the child. And yes, this is biblically backed up. And we'll get to that point in the Bible when we do. Kind of sound robotic, don't I? Mach 7. Silver Watchman. Engaging. Sorry. So, continue. Oh, that's a weird moment even for me. Alright, so our motivations differ from person to person. But know this. If the person caused another person to die, that does not necessarily make them the murderer of that person. Which means, in a way, you can look it away But if somebody murders another human being, yes, I do agree that they do need to be punished. But keep in mind, every single human on the planet, in the eyes of God, is a murderer. Because of the simple fact of you have all hated someone at some point in your life. You have chosen to hate that person. They did not make you hate them. They did not hold you at gunpoint and say, feel hatred for me or die. No. You chose to hate them. And that is bad. For hatred is the very first step in committing murder. When you take a life purposely, willingly, with hatred in your heart, then you have committed murder. Especially if the hatred is directed at the thing that you have just killed. But if you take a life for food, then it is not murder. For example, if I were to bash in a cow's skull so that it dies, but that is so I can use that cow for food, then I have not murdered the cow, but instead killed off the cow so that way I may eat and my family may eat. Kind of want a hamburger now. And that's okay. It is okay to take the life of an animal so that you may be able to eat. Even when you kill plants, is it considered murder? No. Even though by you uprooting the plant, you have just killed the plant. Did you murder the plant to eat? No, you did not. Same thing goes for consuming food, or meat, or protein like animals, like fish, cow, deer, oxen. You know, I've never eaten oxen or deer. I hear it's delicious though. Well, that's as of this video. Things may change in the future. Also, one thing you should never do is kill another human that you may eat that human. That is known as cannibalism, and it is considered an act of murder. Because you are killing that human for a selfish reason, that you may consume their flesh to survive. Even when food is scarce, cannibalism is something that God designed to be extremely detrimental to us, psychologically, physically, and spiritually. Because when you consume another human being, what it does is it, in a way, in a spiritual sense, opens up a doorway that any demon can pretty much go to kill you or possess you as they so desire. Unless, of course, you ask for forgiveness and actually mean it. But chances are, if you're willing to eat another human being, you're probably too far gone already. In which case, you must be executed yourself without hesitation. But that's just, a proper analyzation of it through the eyes of a man of God. The way you may analyze it is different. It could also be extremely wrong and dangerous. Another thing that it causes is it when you cannibalize it, in a way, it corrupts. This is the best word I have. It corrupts you physically, leaving this kind of drug-like addiction to the flesh of your own kind. And like any addiction, it cannot be kicked without help, or an extremely powerful sense of willpower. Like I said though, there are plenty of animals in the world. You've got fish, you've got cows, you've got chickens. You got the turkey things with those weird dangly doos on their face. Then you eat the turkey and then you kind of get sleepy for a while. And that's part of something that got designed into the turkey, which is... I don't really remember the name of it too well, other than it's some kind of chemical that's like in their meat that, if improperly washed and consumed, will make the consumer very, very sleepy. I don't know why. Also, I mean, you could technically eat a vulture as well, but that's kind of... Oh, wait, yeah. So why is it that carrion doesn't experience the same issues that a human would if a human eats, another human being? They're designed to do that. They're designed to eat rotting flesh. They're basically like the cleanup crew. They eat the bigger hunks of flesh off a rotting corpse, while the bacteria that got designed for that would be, breaking down all the other stuff, all the stuff that the birds may have missed. The scraps of skin that are too stuck to the bones for their beak-like stuff to be able to eat or like rip off. And then you got the thing that breaks down bones, and I don't really know what that's called, but what it does is it hollows out your bones and then makes it, and your bones just fall apart. God designed us to these bodies fall apart with time. The only reason that you don't fall apart while you're walking around is the fact that you are within your body slows down the rate of decay, because you are soul and there's life force in you, and that slows down decay. But that's another video. Thank you for sitting through the video. Glory be to God and blessings be upon you. Seriously, it is truly an honor that I get to do this. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings be upon you. And if you've been following all of my series, or since the beginning, even more so. Thank you, and this is the Silver Watchman, signing out.